Greetings, Brian here from touringplans.com, of course. And today's video is going to be kind of an addendum to one that Angela did earlier this week. She very delightfully walked you through making a personalized touring plan, and it is popping up right here over my head if you would like to go watch that now. And if you are unfamiliar totally with our personalized touring plans at touringplans.com, I would suggest you take a minute and watch her video before getting to this, because I am going to talk about some of the more complicated things with the plan, as well as many of the common questions that people ask us about the plans, some of which are slight issues that we are working on. We'll get to that one in a few minutes. And some are just little hacks and things that will help you create the best possible plan. And I know I couldn't get to all of your questions, but we can definitely shoot more of these types of videos, especially if you like them. And if you do like them, make sure you let us know by hitting that like button, subscribing if you're not subscribed, and sharing our video around, because that is how we get to do more things like this. One thing I will not get to is using Lines, the mobile app from touringplans.com. That will be in a different video. And although I will say I do recommend creating and modifying the plan on the desktop version, there are more features. It's just a little bit cleaner. The Lines app is really for being in the parks, especially the day you are using it. That is where it is fantastic. But that is unfortunately another video. This one is long enough already. So now let me shrink myself into the corner, and you are seeing my screen where I am going to be creating a plan. I'm going to kind of rush through this part a little bit because Angela did such a good job with hers, but I figured I would at least show you this. For this plan, and I have a lot of personalized plans, I'm going to just call it Animal Kingdom Test because I am going to be creating a plan for Animal Kingdom. Let me pick what should be a fairly busy day. So we'll go Saturday, July 14th. I'm going to choose Animal Kingdom right there. They have extra magic hours. As I will say, yes, I am using that time. As you can see now, it has switched my start time to 8 a.m. down here. Again, more on the start and end times in a little bit. Proceed to attractions. So let's pick. I definitely want to ride Flight of Passage. Let's do Dinosaur. Let's do all the big ones. Expedition Everest. Also do want to see the gorillas and the tigers. So I will pick some of those. Want to see the Tree of Life Awakenings at the end. But you'll notice, well, wait, where is Rivers of Life, the nighttime show? Where are all the other shows? You got to go up here. Shows, parades, and diversions. Make sure you click that because that will have a lot of other stuff in here. Meals and breaks. Not going to add any right now. I will get to that in a little bit as well. Plan is created now. Up here you'll see the date, the times, all of that stuff. And I'm going to optimize. Before I optimize, I just want to talk about this right here. These sliders that you will see right here. These are only on the web version. They are not on the app. And what these do, this one is pretty straightforward. Walking speed. It just turns down the walking speed. I will say, even if you pick very relaxed and you have small children with you, it sometimes isn't slow enough. It wasn't for me when my kids were little, but it is closer. It doesn't adjust the walking times a ton, just, a couple seconds here and there that will add up to, a few minutes overall. And you can play with it. You can move the slider, optimize the plan, move it again, optimize it, see what the differences are. At the bottom of the plan, it does tell you your total time, so you can kind of see what it does. I'm going to bump mine up to fast because if it's just me by myself, I move pretty quickly. Waiting versus walking, this one's a little trickier. If you choose to minimize waiting, the computer will make you walk a little bit more, crisscrossing the park to find the absolute minimum wait time. If you choose minimize walking, it's the opposite. But I will say the computer does still take into account walking time and waiting time. So if it's more than a couple minutes difference, it will still put them in the most optimal order. Now, Saturday, July 14th, I just looked, is only a 6 at the Animal Kingdom, which isn't too bad. And as you will see, the wait times, except for these first two, are not bad. Expedition Everest, 28 minutes is my next longest. Is my next longest one. This Rivers of Light is a little deceiving because it's a show, so that's just the time I get there until the time of the show. Now, let's deal with Flight of Passage. So I'm going to be using the term rope drop a lot. If you're not familiar, rope drop is a Disney fan term for park opening. Reason it's called that is because Disney always lets you into the park a little bit before official opening. That's why we recommend getting there 30 to 45 minutes early at all parks. You can get through security, you can get through the touch points with your Magic Band, and you can get a little ways into the park. And this is part of the reason I chose Animal Kingdom for my personalized plan here. Animal Kingdom lets you onto Discovery Island and to the different sections, much like the hub does. But Flight of Passage is so unbelievably popular that they actually start running it before official park opening. In most cases, they will run it 15 to 30 minutes early. Extra magic hour morning like this, it might be closer to 8 a.m. that they run it, but still, when they can, they will start running Flight of Passage early. I did a video back in November, and the process hasn't really changed since then. That video is right here, where I get to Animal Kingdom, get through, and I am actually off of Flight of Passage before the park opens, which was 9 a.m. So with Animal Kingdom, it is very important to get there an hour ahead of time if you want to be in this first group. So what's happening here? It is telling me I will have to wait 66 minutes. See, right here are the wait times. So I will have to wait 66 minutes to ride, even though it's the first attraction. But wait, Brian, you just told us you were on and off the attraction before the park opened. I know. So what's happening here is that the computer thinks you are arriving to the front of the park at 8 a.m. It is taking you 8 minutes. Right here, you'll see the arrival time is 8:08 a.m. The computer says you arrive at the park at 8 a.m. It takes you 8 minutes to walk to Flight of Passage. But wait, by 8:08 a.m., there's a ton of people in line already. The wait's going to be 66 minutes. This is what the part we're working on. So what we are hoping for is in the future, we will allow you to select that, yes, I will absolutely be there, and you can take that into account, and the computer will. Right now, it cannot do that. It always will think you are at the front of the park at park opening. Which, if you are a smart Disney World traveler, you will not be. You will be well into the park, and in some cases on the ride by park opening. If you can guarantee to yourself that you will be there early enough, here is what I would recommend. Deleting Flight of Passage from your plan. Go there, get to the park early, do it, and then follow the plan from there. You will be off of Flight of Passage within a few minutes of park opening if everything goes well. And then you can follow the plan. And even if it's a little later, that's when you use that Lines app and re-optimize, and it will tell you what to do. Now, with a ride like Seven Dwarfs Mine Train that does not begin running early in most cases, it's a little bit different because you can't get there before 9 a.m. But we did another video where we did this exact thing that is popping up right here, and getting there right at 9 a.m. and being towards the front of that rope drop crowd, you can still be off of there within 10 minutes of opening. And you can still follow the plan because, again, the walking time from the front of the park will negate a lot of that stuff. This is what I'm going to do here. I know I will be at this park by 7 a.m. on this day. I get up early anyway, so it's not as big a deal for me. So I'm going to delete Flight of Passage by clicking that little X. Now I will re-optimize the plan, and it looks like this. So as you see now, it has me arriving at Navi River Journey at 8:08 a.m. and waiting 14 minutes. Doing Flight of Passage first, getting off of that pretty early, going straight to Navi River Journey is about what this is going to be like. Till we add that rope drop feature, this is what you do, and it does work with Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. So next, rider swap. We do have a feature to add rider swap. I didn't add it in the beginning, but if you want to go back and do it, it is easy. Let's say Dinosaur here. I want to add rider swap, also called child swap. Can add it to the plan. So here, I clicked that edit button next to Dinosaur. I click to enable child swap, save. Now I do have to re-optimize here, and you will see what happens. So now when I look at Dinosaur, you'll notice the duration has gone up. Everything else is the same. Wait time is the same. The walking time to get there, like it took me 10 minutes to walk from Navi River Journey to Dinosaur. Now the duration has gone up. What has been added into there is the time for 2 rides, plus the time to go back through the FastPass Plus line the second time. This is always how the plans deal with child swap. It always assumes you're going to ride it twice in a row. If you don't want to ride it twice in a row, there is a way around that. It gets a little bit tricky, So I will get to that part in just a minute. First, let's talk FastPass Plus. Up here is where you add your FastPasses. If you have not selected your FastPasses yet, you can use the touring plans to kind of work out what would be the best options. Obviously, Flight of Passage at Animal Kingdom is the best option and the hardest one to get. But what I would do here is pretty simple. Look at the wait times. Right now, I'm not seeing a ton of high wait times. Notice taking out that hour wait for Flight of Passage has also knocked down the waits for Everest and Kilimanjaro safaris because I'm getting to those so much earlier. If it's a ride that the optimizer is telling you to ride very early, something like Dinosaur, like Expedition Everest, those are probably pretty decent uses of FastPass. When to get them, I would just say fairly early in the morning, around the time that it has you in there. All it's going to do, if you get a FastPass for 9 a.m., which is when you are arriving at Expedition Everest, all it's going to do is mean you can get through there even faster. Now, probably not faster than 5 minutes, but let's say Safari. So let's say I grab this 10 a.m. one for Safari, and that will be it for now. So you go in here, you add the FastPass, Kilimanjaro Safari, 10 a.m., save FastPass changes, and I will have to re-optimize. But before I do that, one thing I do want to mention is that you can add as many FastPasses as you want. Disney will only let you select up to 3, but if you are staying club level room at Disney, you are actually allowed to pay for 3 extras. You can add them all in. This is another great thing if you are using the DAS, the Disability Access Service, I think, something with an S, for any person with a special need. What that allows you to do is go up to the attraction and get a return time from the cast member, so you don't have to wait in the full line, and then you can come back and go through the FastPass Plus queue. You can just keep adding FastPasses in here and re-optimizing or doing that in the app. It is also a way to split up that child swap pass. Now, the child swap pass is good all that day, so you don't have to do it right afterwards. So let's say I don't want to do Dinosaur twice in a row. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go in here. I'm going to remove the child swap. So it will take that down. Next time I optimize, that duration will be back down. And then I'm going to add another ride on Dinosaur. So I add attraction, choose Dinosaur. Nope, not going to do child swap, save. And let's say I want to go back and ride Dinosaur after I do... Before Rivers of Light, as you can see, I've got a big gap here in between Kilimanjaro Safari and Rivers of Light. Many, many hours that I have to kill. So let's say in there somewhere after lunch, we're going to do Dinosaur again. I can just add a FastPass in here for Dinosaur. And let's say I want to do that at 2 p.m. Now, the system will add another FastPass. Let me click that Optimize button, get these rolling. The system will add that second FastPass in, but I know it is for child swap. Oh, and actually this is a good one because it didn't use my FastPass. I'll show you that in a second here. Does use my FastPass for Kilimanjaro Safari, knocks that wait down to 1 minute, even better. As you'll notice up here, there's a big green thing saying that it didn't use my FastPass. Reason is because it's saying, well, why walk all the way back there later? But I want to use it. So what I'm going to do right here, click Advanced Options. Click right here, Force Optimizer to use all of your FastPass Plus reservations, even if it increases wait times. And then re-optimize it. Before I do, notice duration back down to 4 for Dinosaur. That's because I'm not using the Child Swap Pass. So now you will notice that it did move my Dinosaur FastPass down to 2 o'clock, but it also moved Expedition Everest and Navi River Journey down. It seems to be very worried about my walking time, which is odd. I'm not exactly sure why it did that. I will check on that off camera. But this actually brings me to the next thing. Using the Evaluate feature. That's this button right here. What that will do is it won't move the plan around at all. It will just update the walking times and waiting times. So I know I want to ride Navi River Journey first. Frankly, it should too. So I'm going to move that back up here just by grabbing and dropping. Now you'll see it kind of blanked out everything there. Let's say, now I already have that FastPass for the Safari, so I'm not really going to move that. But I want to do Dinosaur, then Expedition Everest. I can move the Maharaja Jungle Trail down. In fact, I'm going to put that after Dinosaur down here because I'm going to have lots of time before Rivers of Light. Now I'm going to click evaluate instead of optimize. And now, as you can see, it knocked it back down. I'm still not sure why it was moving things around there, other than that I wonder if the Rivers of Light and all of this spare time is kind of messing with the formula a little bit. And now adding spare time in here because of this FastPass. Can be a little bit more trial and error with the evaluate button, especially with meals and breaks, because it may not have them in the exact right spots. But you can just keep moving, keep evaluating. It works pretty well. I would recommend, if you're unsure about what you're doing, going up here and clicking this copy button will create an exact copy of the plan as it stands there to your personalized touring plans page. If it's in a spot that you like, I would recommend copying it before messing with it any further. So that way, if there is a problem, you still at least have that copy to go back to. Just a couple more things to get to here. I'm going to talk about what to do if you want to add something that's not on here. Add a break. Now, a break is simply a space. It asks you whether you want to stay in the park or leave the park. If you leave the park, it will have you walk to the front entrance and then come back through the front entrance. If you just click to stay in the park, it will just assume that break time starts and ends wherever you happen to be standing at that time. So one of the questions I did get was what to do if you want to add a meal, but you don't know specifically where you want to eat. Break is the answer. If I just say, I know I want to eat around 1 o'clock, I don't care where, just somewhere nearby where I'm standing, I can go in here, add a break. Title for step is eat food. That is what I would like to do. And I would like to do it at 1 o'clock. This flexibility number here, anywhere from 10 to 60 minutes. What that is, it just means that the optimizer will get it within that range of your preferred time. So if you choose 60 minutes, it will start the break anywhere between noon and 2 p.m. See what I mean? So I am not leaving the park. How long do I plan to spend? I think it's only going to take me 30 minutes to find something to eat and eat it and save. If I click optimize again, it might throw everything off. So what I'm actually going to do here is go up and remove this dinosaur fast pass, because I think that, and remove this child swap pass dinosaur there and re-optimize, and you'll see it will put my break right in line at 1 o'clock. So it's still put Navi River Journey down here. Regardless of that, it has me starting this at 12:50. I actually have a lot of rest time afterwards because, again, there's nothing there. So you know what? Let's start adding some more attractions. So I added a couple different attractions and shows, and it seems to have done the trick. So you see now Navi River Journey back up top, Expedition Everest. It was just, I had too much spare time in there. Now I still have a bunch of spare time in between what is now the Boronika Band and Rivers of Light, but it has everything in a much better order. Some of these wait times down here are waiting for shows. Boronika Band, Pandora Utility Suit. I have to wait 13 minutes for that to start, things like that. But the actual wait times now are great. Still using that Kilimanjaro Safari Fast Pass, although I do have to wait 20 minutes after it's tough to be a bug until I do it. But that's still better than waiting in line, I suppose. Still has my eat food step down here. Now, where it has me is seeing the Pandora Utility Suit. So in that case, I would say I would eat at Satuli Canteen, which I think is probably the best quick service place in Animal Kingdom. Although Animal Kingdom has some good ones, although that's another list, I suppose. You can also use breaks if you're watching, say, fireworks or a parade and you don't really care from where, you just want it to be the closest spot. You can also use a break. Now, character meets. We've tried for years to model the character meet and greets, the ones that don't have wait times, and it's just never quite come out right. Let's say you want to meet King Louis on the path from Africa to Asia. Don't actually know if he still meets there or not, but I know he used to. Character meets, what I might actually recommend is setting up a meal. Now, the difference between the meal and the break is the meal is location specific. So let's say King Louis starts meeting at 10 a.m. I want to be there right about at 10 a.m. And then what I'm going to do is pick the closest dining location. In this case, I'm going to pick Harambe Market. That's pretty close. I'm hoping it won't take longer than 30 minutes to meet them. So let's put that in. Additional information. I'm going to meet King Louis. So now when I optimize, it adds that in here. It has me arriving there at 10:02 a.m. because it knows not just that I need that break, but where I'm going. I like using these fake meals for something that I need to be in a specific location for. That way the optimizer puts me in the right spot, not just sets aside the time. You could easily use a break for this, and it is perfectly fine. Now, what to do if you want to switch parks? Let's say I am going to Animal Kingdom in the morning, then I'm going to go back to my hotel, take a nap or something, and go to a different park in the evening, or even come back to Animal Kingdom. Here's what I personally do. I do like to plan my day in sections, even if I'm going back to the same park. So first, I need to remove some of this later stuff. I already took out Rivers of Light, remove that meet and greet again. I'm going to take off the Burradika band because it doesn't start until 3:30 p.m. and I don't plan on being in the park that late. I'm going to take that off, and then I'm going to re-optimize, see what my end time is here. Okay, not bad. It has me ending the plan right after the 11:30 a.m. meeting of the Pandora utility suit. That's perfect. I'll get back to my hotel at 12:30 or so. I'll just eat lunch there, take my nap, and get to the park. Now I'm going to a different park. I'm going to go back to my personalized plans right there. You know what? I already have this Hollywood Studios one set up for Sunday, July 15th. So we'll just use that one. Now what I'm going to do is edit the times in here. So I go into this edit function. Ignore this purple box. You won't see that. I think I'm going to end up getting to Hollywood Studios around 4 p.m. Take a nice long break. So I am going to start this plan right here at 4 p.m. Now, if I was going directly from Animal Kingdom to Hollywood Studios, you could still do the exact same thing. So if I leave Animal Kingdom at say 11:45, and then I'm taking the bus, I'm going to give myself a good solid hour from walking out of Animal Kingdom, getting the bus, taking it to Hollywood Studios, getting to the park entrance. It's probably too much, but I'd rather have it be a little too much than too little. So let's say I arrive at 1 p.m. coming directly. Not a great time to arrive at the park, honestly, but still. So I have changed it. Now you'll see up here planned times. I'm not arriving till 1 p.m. Oh, I have a lot of stuff on here, so I do not believe I'm going to get to all of this, but let's see. Pretty darn good for arriving at 1 p.m. Now, I'm not eating lunch or anything in this, so that's different. But I just really wanted to show you this is what I would do, and this is what I do when I'm with my family. I generally plan the mornings and the afternoons separately. You can stop your plan at a certain time. What I like to do is just kind of let the plan go and see where it takes me, and then adjust the arrival time of the other one from there, much like I did in this example. Well, time to make myself big again here. And thank you very much for watching. I know I didn't get to everything. If you have other questions you would like to see or other things from the Touring Plans website that you would like to see myself or Angela explain, make sure you leave that below. Really appreciate you using our tools and watching this video. Be excellent to each other.